neighborhood is searching for a new father who's gone missing. I found his Reddit. I've recently joined a missing person search in my area. I don't personally know the man who disappeared, but we live in the same neighborhood and I have mutual friends with him. So I figured it was the right thing to do to join the effort. His wife had already called all her friends, family, and called even the hospitals and the police, but couldn't find any trace of him. We all got together and traveled throughout the neighborhood, checking the ditches and all of the cases. He had a car wreck, even though his car was still at home. But you can never be too careful, I guess. Well, anyways, to make a long story short, we still haven't found him, and it's been a couple of weeks now, and of course, his wife is distraught. A lot of people are starting to gossip that he's just a deadbeat who decided he didn't want to be a father and husband, and yada yada yada. At first, I was kind of thinking the same, but then I started digging a bit into his social media, and lo and behold, his Instagram and Twitter handles are the same as his Reddit username. His post history suggests he's not a deadbeat at all. Maybe he's gone a little bonkers. Maybe he'll show up in the news after kidnapping some poor family's baby. But I'm sharing this here in case any of you can find any potential clues of where he is, especially if he needs some professional help. Copy plus paste several posts below, posted in r/advice. We brought home the wrong baby. I'm sure of it, and it's not like there's something that never happened before. There's news stories about it, and pretty much all the same at the time. And TV shows, too. This isn't our baby. Someone else has our baby switched at birth, hospital, implantations, whatever you call it. The baby we have in our house that my partner is holding right now is not our baby, even if all the records say otherwise. I keep on trying to tell her, but she doesn't want to talk about it, doesn't even want to entertain the idea. I get it. I mean, I do. She's already attached to this baby, feeding it and changing it and all that stuff. It's impossible not to bond with our baby. I really get it. And I want to underscore that I don't hate this baby, okay? It's just not our baby. It's not the baby we made together. It's not our baby. I don't want to get rid of this wrong baby. I just want to fix the situation. I'm sure the other parents who are the actual parents of this baby would want it, right? We're all on the same side. We just want things to be the way they were supposed to be. I can't just take this one back to the hospital or the police station demanding an exchange. My partner and I need to put our heads together and try to figure out some steps. So how can I convince my partner that this isn't our baby? Thanks for the comments and advice, everyone. I got a lot of questions how I knew this isn't our baby, so I guess I should explain a little more. First of all, the baby doesn't look like us. I don't mean in the sense that the dad's eyes or mom's nose or whatever. I mean, if you compare this baby to any other baby photo in our family, it doesn't resemble any of us. You know, how some babies look like their uncle or grandmother when they were babies. This one doesn't. My partner and I dug out the family album and everything. We wanted to have a little cute Facebook post and tag family members the baby looked most like. That's when we realized the baby didn't have any family features. My partner was disappointed, but she insisted that it just has to be our particular genes when mixed together. A fluke. But I disagree, especially with everything else I've noticed. The baby won't breastfeed. We have a bottle feed. It's like the baby doesn't like the taste of my partner's milk because it's not the right milk. Babies can sense that stuff, right? The baby is also quiet. It almost never cries. It never smiles or laughs. It's like it's waiting for something or trying to tell us something. Like it's trying not to bond with us because we're not the natural parents. I'll ask her to consent to another DNA test, or I can just send some samples without bothering her, just making sure and not causing any needless distress. Maybe the first results were an error? Edit 2. Okay, I get it. Some babies don't launch very well and just have a simple temper. I wasn't trying to say that the baby is evil or anything. I'm just saying that it's not the way our baby would behave based on our family history. Every time our parents came over, they made comments about how different this baby is compared to us when we were a baby. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Anyways, I've called the hospital again and went through the demanding of the nurse security footage. Usually they keep footage of 90 days, but there's a nurse who believes me, and she secretly recorded it on her phone and shared it with me. This is big. She told me that it happens sometimes. Babies get mixed up. The footage she recorded doesn't show them mixing up any babies, but it could have happened at any point. Even outside the room, the hospital is denying anything, of course. I've reached out to parent boards and formats asking for something that would help to anyone else, and they realized it had happened. It usually based on the looks. A baby with brown eyes when both the parents have blue eyes, or just that the baby doesn't look like either of them, stuff like that. They get DNA tests done, just like we did, and it turns out the babies were switched, just like ours. So the DNA tests must have returned ARIOS results for the baby we brought home, because I know for sure this isn't our baby, and none of you are going to convince me otherwise. You're not here. You can't see what's going on. I'm sending another sample for DNA testing. Poston r/newborns. Disagreement over raising baby. My partner and I are having a huge disagreement right now about whether we should raise this baby for consent. There was a mix-up and we brought the wrong baby home from the hospital. It's a whole thing. I don't want to keep this baby. I'm not saying we should kick it out or grab or eat it into a nearby dumpster. I'm just saying we shouldn't bond with this baby. We need to go looking for the real parents so we can switch them back. Then we can bond with our real baby. But my partner actually believes this is our baby, even though it obviously isn't. She thinks hospitals have protologs to prevent mix-ups, but she doesn't understand that no system is infallible. But there's a different issue. The issue is that she doesn't even want to try to go figure out where our real baby is. She wants to go through life raising this baby as our very own. I keep asking her, what if our real baby is in an abusive household or something? Shouldn't we be trying to save our own flesh and blood? It makes me sick just thinking about it, what our baby could be going through. Am I wrong here? We literally have the wrong baby, but nothing I can say can convince her that we should find our real baby. What am I supposed to do? Edit. Some of you need to learn how to put yourselves in another person's shoes. How would you feel if your baby just got switched and you had no idea where your baby was and who was taking care of them? Your baby could be dead for all you know. How would you feel? Like I said, I don't hate this baby we have right now. It's just I don't want to bond with it. But I want the baby who is supposed to come home with us, not this one. Post in r/DNA. Prosteral test results keep coming back with false positives. To make a long story short, my partner gave birth a few months ago, and there was a mix-up at the hospital. We ended up bringing the wrong baby home with us, and I got suspicious enough to get a DNA test. My partner agreed to the first one, but when it came back positive, it satisfied her. The baby we have is our biological one. I kept trying to tell her it wasn't, obviously, and it was a mistake, and I wanted to do another test. So I sent in another sample. It came back positive again. Is it common for DNA tests to give false positives? Hold up. Or is it possible that this baby is a distant cousin to me or something? That's why it keeps showing a relationship between us. Because this definitely isn't my baby. Posted in r/help me. I feel like I'm losing my mind. My partner and I just brought home the wrong baby from the hospital and no one believes me. Nobody is listening to me. I keep pointing out things like how the baby looks and acts nothing like us. I show her the news stories about people who find out later in life that their babies were switched at birth. And I found some evidence. I found paranoid tests. Might not even be relatable. I just want to find my baby and make sure everything is the way it should be. Is that so bad? All these months I've said anything bad about the baby we're taking care of right now. It's different. It's just not ours. It still almost never cries, but it never smiles or laughs either. It drinks a lot of fluid because it refuses to breastfeed, but it hasn't grown much bigger. The babies in our family have always been a big size and usually grow fast. On both our sides, babies are usually sitting up about 6 months, but it's been 7 months and this baby can't even support its own head yet. My partner has gone to the doctor and they've ran some tests that all came back normal. Maybe it's normal for the family the baby is actually from, probably. But it's just another piece of evidence for me that this isn't our baby. What am I supposed to do? This isn't a movie where I can just hire a hacker to get into the hospital mainframe and find the names of every person who was born that day or give birth that day. I tried to find birth documents in the paper from earlier this year and even checked on Facebook a few months the babies would be able to turn 1, so I could look for quote unquote baby first birthday, end of quotes, post on social media. But the longer I wait, the more anxious I get, not knowing what happened to our baby. How am I supposed to find our real baby?